Hey cooks, we're beginning our journey through the Food Lab by Kenji Lopez-Alt. This book has become a standard in many people's cookbook library. We've been on quite a journey and we're going to be taking it now. We're going to see what Kenji has to offer in his world famous book, The Food Lab. Welcome to the Cookbook Club and welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. So we're starting our tour of the Food Lab for May. I'm slightly behind schedule. May has got 5 weeks in it, and I should have 5 recipes, right? Because my goal originally was to do a cookbook club every Saturday. But you know, I don't have a producer over my head telling me, here's your deadline, right? This is a hobby for us. So when it comes to a hobby, that's what happens, right? I was off gallivanting around Pennsylvania yesterday, and I will show you it was worth it for me taking a little hike up there. And I'll show you where I went, right? But, so we're back on track today. We're back on track, not on Saturday. So I think I should revise that and say, Cookbook Club is going to come out somewhere between Saturday and Tuesday, right?
It'll come out.
That's just a range. It's a range. It's fluid, right? Yeah. So this is the Food Lab. This is Kenji Lopez-Alt. He was previously with the America's Test Kitchen. He moved to Serious Siege. I don't know if he's like a full-time Serious Siege person. He just writes for them. He came out with this smash hit, and it won everything, right? It won James Beard. It won every mom and pop award. People on the internet went crazy because it's really looking at a scientific approach to cooking. And it really gives you a lot of steps. It gets away from all the foof and frivels and takes you down to pictures from his home kitchen and that kind of stuff, right? So I'm looking like, out of this big, huge cookbook, what are the most famous Food Lab recipes? And I was asking people, and I was doing all this, right? This recipe came up time and time again. We are making Kenji's super crisp roasted potatoes. Yay, right? You're going to say roasted potatoes is a really easy recipe. A lot of things, it seems really easy, but if you just get a little bit of technique, it'll make it absolutely great, right? So there's some things that he does to allow us to make the crispy. So we're going to follow his process. He does have a video up on YouTube where he makes these in a slightly different way than he does in the book. I'm doing it just how the book is, because if you buy this book, that's what you're going to get, right? So we are making super crisp roasted potatoes. Let me go grab some potatoes. So we're going to be doing something really interesting with these potatoes. We're going to be boiling them first. And I remember growing up, this isn't really like a new process. I remember growing up, we used to like microwave them first, then pan fry them. It made it, they tasted different, right? And I think what Kenji says is boiling them first gelatinizes the starches. So we're going to coat them in fat, that starch is going to make a kind of a stickiness on the outside, and that is going to create a lot more crispiness on the outside of the potatoes. We're just basically going to cut them like this. I got this fancy knife. See, I'll put a link in the description to this book and to this knife, right? Got a little peel action going on there. I'm just going to cut these into chunkies, throw them in a little sauce pot here. So that is an all-clad.
So if you want details, you have to buy the book.
Yeah.
The cheat sheet version is we got 3 pounds of potatoes.
Yeah. This recipe's all over the internet, but I don't give the recipe out on my website because out of respect for the author. So The best thing to do is to get this book because it has a lot of amazing stuff in it besides just these potatoes. This book is amazing. So we're going to chunk these potatoes. Chunk them. Chunk them. Chunk them, boo. Okay, we have the stove up. We're going to bring it up to a boil. We need to generously salt the water. This is the all-clad soup pot. But I'm not making soup. Is it illegal? It's the soup pot, but I'm not making soup.
Soup in a soup pot.
Well, it's potato soup, right?
Oh, is that what it is?
Close enough. So we're going to bring this to a boil. We're going to let it cook about 10 minutes. You're not making mashed potatoes. You want to poke them, and they're barely cooked through. A knife inserted in the potato will meet a little resistance. About 10 minutes. So we'll be right back. Oh, wait, that was bring them to a boil, knock them down to a simmer, and then cook them for 10 minutes. Okay, these taters are ready to go. Whew. I'm just going to take them out of here and stick them in this bowl here. Hot taters coming through.
Yeehaw.
Them are some hot taters. So you see, you still want to boil them whether you get mashed potatoes.
No.
You want them to be just like that.
But mashed potatoes wouldn't be a bad thing, though, would it?
No.
Get a little gravy going. Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can do his mashed potatoes and gravy. Though it probably has dairy in it, so sorry. I can make them for you, though. Okay, so we're just going to toss them up a little bit and get that starch going. Spreading the starch out a little bit. Toss and toss. We're going to coat them in olive oil. And some pepper. You can do fresh cracked. I'm just doing it out of the can here. Going to toss taters. We're going to try, see how that starch is kind of jagging up those potatoes? That's a good thing. You don't want mashed potatoes, but you do want a little jaggedy potato because that jaggedy gets crispy. Going to put a little bit more oil on here. My oil's running low. Time for refill. A little bit more pepper. Probably have to salt these out the oven. Salt them out of the oven. Toss. Toss. So see how these pieces have a little jaggediness to them? That's exactly what you want. Okay, I'm out. So he says put them out on a baking sheet, a sheet pan. I think they'll stick like the dickens to that. He did it in his video with parchment paper, and they stuck like crazy to the parchment paper. So I'm using this. So I'm just going to put a little oil down here. So he says you can use bacon fat, duck fat. Those are ideal. I'm just using olive oil. And I'm going to take my taters here, and we're going to drop them down in here. Whoa. And he says they can be touching. Mine are touching a little bit more than what's ideal.
Well, yeah, because if you were using a sheet pan, it's a bigger area to spread them out.
Do you want to move it to a sheet pan? Let me get a sheet pan. Okay, Eric convinced me to move them to a sheet pan because they're too close together in this. I didn't realize I had that many potatoes. I didn't think that was going to be an issue. So when he did it on his video, when Kenji did it, he put parchment in there. And I don't know if he had the parchment that had silicone on it, but it stuck like mad. So we're just going to do it like this without the parchment.
But this USA pan has silicone on
Yeah.
it.
Then I'm able to spread these out better on this. You want as much pan to potato contact that you can get.
Mm-hmm.
So these are going to go into a pretty warm oven, 450.
So if you're going to do a half recipe, maybe 1 to 2 pounds, maybe the green pan would work.
Yeah.
But 3 pounds,
A half recipe probably would be good.
yeah.
So they're going to go in there for 25 minutes. Then we're going to stir them up, and they're going to go another 25 minutes. So halfway through, I'll let you know how they're doing. Okay, oven cam. They've been in here 25 minutes. So we need to... Ooh, they're not sticking at all. Ooh, thank you, USA Pan.
USA pan.
That's amazing.
Ah.
It's starting to get crispy.
Now you just need to redistribute them, Bubba.
Yeah.
Come on, nice and spread out.
These are looking good, Kenji.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that crispy right there.
Mm-hmm. Now.
Out we go.
Bye-bye, potatoes.
Whoa. That steamed it up.
Look at all the sizzling.
I think we got some sizzle action.
Now.
Let's get these out. So our potatoes are out of the oven, and let me tell you, this is the way to make crispy roasted potatoes. Look at that. Beautiful, crispy. You definitely need to salt them. Those are absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and serve these up. And there's not like all this spray, like if you're making fried potatoes, it sprays it all over the place. There you go. Boo-boo.
Thank you, Bubba.
Kenji, these are amazing. I can see why people say, oh, this is my favorite recipe book. Something so simple and amazing. I got a little bit of my honey mustard dipping sauce. I'll put a link down to the recipe. Oh, these are delicious. Look at that crisp on there. So many times when you make oven roasted potatoes, they're soft and they're a little brown, but they don't brown up super like crisped up like that. These are amazing. Kenji, you changed how I make oven roasted potatoes. Even hash browns. Make these up, throw them in the oven, make the rest of your breakfast. Make some chicken to go along with them. These are fantastic. If nothing else, the book is worth this recipe. I can see why on Reddit, why people are crazy about this. These are fantastic. Get this book. You'll love it.
Mm-hmm.
Our first cookbook club for May 2025 is a success.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for joining me. I gotta go eat my potatoes.
Mm-hmm.